Do you know what it is today? It is one of those days. Do you know when everything just seems a bit crappy and you just want to get into bed and sleep, which is what I've done. I just had like a 2-hour nap. All round, it's just been a quite meh day. And with that in mind, I wanted to talk about happiness and how, just like any other emotion, it is not constant. That placing too much pressure on being happy does more harm than good for us. My name's Joe. I post videos every Wednesday on topics relating to personal development and mental health. If you enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. It would be great to have you along on this little ride with me. So, what do I mean by happiness is not constant? And I've got coffee. Oh, which I've poured everywhere. What do I mean by happiness is not constant? When we're speaking to people, or like myself, when I have low moods, people could be like, oh, don't worry, low moods don't last forever. You're not going to feel sad forever. You're not going to feel anxious forever. And all those things, very true, they are very true. But what we fail to acknowledge as well is that happiness is not a lasting emotion. No emotion is lasting. And I feel like many of us in this personal development space can forget that, or almost trip ourselves up in believing that we can move through our problems and reach this point where we feel happy constantly. And I feel like I've done this. I've been frustrated with myself sometimes, assuming that because, I've been doing this work for 3 years now, that I can get to this point of being like, I'm just meant to be happy and content. And that's not true. I feel down sometimes. I still feel negative emotions. Sometimes I don't even know why, and sometimes I do. I guess the main point of this video is just to remind you guys not to place too much weight on being happy. Like, it's an emotion, just like any other. You're gonna have highs and you're gonna have lows, and thinking that you can completely eliminate one from the other is, I think it's a toxic mindset to have. So the way I view happiness and the way which I want to move forward seeing it is kind of like this pendulum of having happiness on one side and having sadness or non-happiness on the other side. And this pendulum is ever swinging. It's never fixed. It's never staying in one place. It's constantly moving. And I feel like it's really important for us looking to improve our mental health and pursuing personal development to not have this fixed mindset. We always talk about not having a fixed mindset, of having a growth mindset. If you are hyper-focused on always being happy, that is a fixed mindset. That is not allowing yourself to be open for the natural swing in emotions that we have. If you place too much pressure on yourself to be happy, you're going to be disappointed when you're not. When that pendulum naturally swings to the other end, you're going to beat yourself up when you're not feeling happy. And this is a mindset that I've seen other people have, and this is a mindset that I have had, of beating myself up for not being where I want to be. We are going to have times when we are low. We're going to have times when we feel down. And the worst thing that we can do is fix our mind onto always being on this side of the pendulum when it's just naturally going to swing to the other end. And it makes perfect sense when you think about it, that if we just embrace our lows, if we embrace when we are feeling down, it's just natural that we're going to move through it easier. If you sit in resistance when you're feeling low, you're going to stay there. So when I am feeling low, when I'm feeling down, I just try and make the best of that situation, acknowledge the fact that I'm not going to feel that way forever, and just continue being productive, continue doing things that benefit me, and eventually it does pass. So all this I'm talking about we would call the pendulum effect. So I want you to go away from this video understanding that emotions are like a pendulum, they do swing. And I just want to say that none of this which I'm talking about is to say that you can't have a positive mindset and you can't bring more positivity into your life. I've gone from feeling depressed, dealing with anxiety and mental health issues to a point now where my life is mainly optimistic and I keep an optimistic mindset. But what's going to hinder us in the long run is believing that we can fix that pendulum on one side and we're not going to feel those lows. It gets easier when we accept lows for being there, see what we can learn from them and allow them to pass naturally. Part of that is always understanding that happiness is not always going to last, that feeling of elation or satisfaction might not always be there. and that is completely fine. So that's how I'm going to leave it with you guys this week. I hope that you've been able to take something from this video. If you haven't, you can read my blog post on this. I'll link it down below. It might explain it a bit better. If you enjoyed the video, you can like it, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I post videos every single Wednesday. It'd be great to see you there with me. And yeah, I hope that you all have a brilliant week.